Ma'am, I canceled the ride. Please get out of my car.
Are you kidding me right now?
You've been screaming at me the whole time. You put in the wrong address. Get out.
Here's just a sample of what many rideshare drivers have to deal with.
I just wanted to go to the courthouse.
Yeah, and you gave me 3 different addresses. Now you're telling me to go to East.
You put it on your phone.
Yeah, because I could have just canceled. You should have put the right address on. I don't have anything to do with it.
Planned Parenthood is not the right.
I didn't put that in. You know what I do? I accept the ride. I take the ride. It tells me where to go.
Okay.
It's your job to put in the right.
Give me the whole situations.
The passenger put in the wrong address, then blamed the driver.
What was the address?
The address that you put, that I was assigned to, because I don't touch the addresses because I don't know where the hell you guys are going,
Okay, so
was Planned Parenthood. We got there. You were still being rude to me.
This is what it says on my address.
Can you please get out of my car?
Well, then you're not getting paid.
I don't give a shit. I'll talk to Lyft about it. I could literally deny you because you're rude.
We gotta do better for these people, man.
Can you leave my car? The ride's canceled. Can you get out of my car?
It ends there, so let's discuss this. In 2018, Wired had a write-up on these frontline workers. What gets far less attention is the abuse, verbal and physical, that drivers endure. In November, a shocking video of a drunken T-Bell executive beating an Uber driver went viral. More recently, a witness filmed a Miami doctor trying to kick a driver before trashing his car. And these are just a few incidents that made headlines. No matter what you call it, providing rides to strangers carries the risk of harassment and violence. It's why your parents told you never to pick up hitchhikers. But while the risk to passengers of using rideshare services has been widely debated, the risk to drivers has been largely ignored. When it comes to threats to driver safety, Lyft says it keeps detailed records whenever it's contacted about a ride-related incident. Uber also says it tracks incidents involving the safety of drivers, but the companies decline to share specific numbers. Still, if ride-sharing companies don't make their figures public, federal regulators do. Taxi drivers are over 20 times more likely to be murdered on the job than other workers, the U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration said in 2010. In a 2014 report, the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that of 3,200 taxi drivers who were hurt or killed on the job, 180 sustained injuries caused by a violent person, about 5.6%. Another unfortunate pillar was rideshare companies spending a record-shattering $220 million on arguing Prop 22 would protect California's app-based workers' flexibility while providing benefits, including health insurance stipends and safety trainings. Prop 22 passed on the November 2020 ballot with 58% of the vote. The problem was this quote-unquote victory gutted drivers of basic employment rights, including healthcare benefits, an hourly minimum wage, and health and safety standards. Labor law professor Vina Dubal called Prop 22 the most dangerous law to workers since Taft-Hartley, which dramatically restricted unions, arguing that it sets a dangerous precedent for employment standards across industries. The big problem is the abuse, specifically crime, that drivers may suffer. The Wall Street Journal reported in Minneapolis 494 carjackings were reported through November 11th, up 279% from those reported throughout 2019, according to a spokesman for the city's police. Rideshare drivers accounted for 11% of those cases. Companies are taking steps to address the rising crime, but some drivers think they need to do more. It's an absolute crisis keeping drivers from coming back to work, said Lenny Sanchez, the Illinois director of the Independent Drivers Guild, a driver-run group. Drivers are doing what they can to protect themselves. Some will only work during the daytime or pick up passengers from the airport. Others have taken to wearing bulletproof vests, according to one driver. Drivers say they want Uber, Lyft, and others to strengthen safeguards for drivers so they are at par with measures available to riders. Drivers usually go through background checks, including getting screened for criminal history when they sign up. They are often required to take selfies on the job to prove that they are the ones driving. Passengers, on the other hand, can create accounts using false names since the apps don't require them to disclose their identities. Unlike drivers, they aren't required to upload photos, which makes it easier for wrongdoers to pose as passengers or misuse existing accounts. Families of slain drivers say knowing those details could make the difference between life and death. In August 2019, one Uber driver and a passenger were shot and killed by a rioter who used the app to hail a shared ride. The rioter had a criminal history dating back to 1997, police records show, and was later convicted of these murders. The driver, a father of 4, could have been spared had Uber applied the same checks it uses to filter potentially problematic drivers on passengers, his family says. Cassandra Porsche, a lawyer suing Uber on behalf of the family, says the companies have a duty to protect their drivers, even if they aren't employees under the law.